All right, we are at noon. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started right away because we have a lot to uncover today. So welcome everyone. Good afternoon. These are our nonprofit Bites and Insights with Aparo. This is where we have free webinars and invite people with all different kinds of expertise to come share their knowledge and their expertise. So today, we are in the final series, final webinar of a 4-part series around nonprofit project management. If you didn't get a chance to see our last 3 sessions, or maybe you missed 1 or 2, all of these are recorded and put on our webpage. So I do invite you to take a look at those if you haven't already. Like I said, today is our final session to wrap things up, and we're going to be focusing on 3 project management tools. We're going to be looking at Asana, Basecamp, and Trello. So keep in mind that these demos are being led by users like you and me. They're not being led by vendors. So they're going to be showing you the ways that they use the tool and answer any questions that you might have. Hopefully we'll be able to fit everything in. Each speaker will be given 15 minutes to give the highlights of their tool and answer any questions specific to that tool. And then hopefully we'll have 10 minutes at the end for just general open Q&A. So a few housekeeping details before I turn it over to our first speaker. This webinar is being recorded. This will also be added to our webpage. All of you attending will receive a follow-up email from me that includes the link to the recording, as well as any slide decks and any resources that our speakers have shared with us. Q&A is available for you to use to drop in your questions at any time, and the chat box is also available for you to use. We will be monitoring both. And then finally, closed caption is available if you'd like to use it. So for those of you who are new to Aparo, very quickly, Aparo is a nonprofit based in Charlotte. What we do is we help nonprofits with their technology and business process needs and challenges. The way that we do that is connect them with skilled volunteers and corporations. Our services fall under 3 categories: advice, education, and solutions. Advice is essentially our consulting service. So you meet one-on-one with a tech therapist to talk about your technology need, your challenges. Maybe you just need some coaching on a tool. Maybe you just need some guidance for some resources. Or maybe you're looking for a vendor. We have an amazing list of vetted vendors that might also offer you a discount. So please, if you ever get to that point, reach out to us. We'll be happy to have that conversation with you. Under education, we also offer customized team trainings. If that's something that you and your staff need or are interested in, please have a conversation with us. We'll customize and tailor it exactly to what you're looking for. And then, of course, we have these webinars. Under solutions, these are our larger projects. So one example might be you're looking for a project management tool and you need support on figuring out what are your needs, your must-haves, your nice-to-haves, and really getting a tool that fits what you're looking for. That's just an example of how you might utilize our community impact projects. So this is just a recommendation to get some more value out of this webinar. So like I said, our users today, they're going to be talking about some of the high level features of each tool. So this might be a good opportunity to start making that list of your must-haves, of your nice-to-haves. Once you get to really understand what these tools can do for you, the best way to select the right tool is really looking at your must-have and nice-to-have lists. Or maybe you also have a problem already in your head. As you're going through this webinar, you might say, hey, that tool really solves a problem, or it partially solves a problem, but I'm still looking for something more. All of that is great to have. It's great to know. list it out. It will help you as you make your decision. Finally, these are the different ways to connect with Aparo. If or when you decide you'd like to access some of our services, the best way is to go to our website and submit a request. You can also subscribe to our email list. This is a great way to stay updated on our programming, or you can email yours truly. I'd be happy to connect you in any way that I can. And then finally, if you like what we do at Aparo, please consider writing a short Google review. All right, that is it for me. Let me stop sharing. And our first speaker will be Shantae. I'm going to spotlight her for everyone and then take it away.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shantae Speller. I currently work for a company called Automattic, who's the maker of WordPress.com. Today, I'm going to demo for you all Asana and some of the cool features that it offers. So let me share my screen. All right. So one thing that we know about projects is that every team needs a system to manage the work, because without it, teams move slowly, deadlines are missed, and you fail to hit your business goals. So Asana is a great tool for helping the entire organization or team plan, manage, and automate the work that you need to complete. Today, I'm going to go over the user experience of the tool, some of the key features, some of the templates that come out of the box, automation, and pricing. I'm not going to go in any particular order, but I'm going to walk you all through the tool. So before I jump into the example project that I set up, I want to show you how easy it is to just start a project. When you log into Asana, if you click the Create button, you have the option to create a task, a project, a message, or a team. In this case, let's create a new project. You're going to be walked through a wizard. So it's going to give you the option of either starting a blank project, using a template, or importing a spreadsheet. The cool thing about importing a spreadsheet is that a lot of times teams will start breaking out the work that needs to be completed in a spreadsheet. So you can upload that into Asana, and that can be your starting point, so you don't have to load all of your tasks in manually again if you happen to have a spreadsheet. If you go to use a template, Asana offers so many templates for you to use, and it gives you an overview of each of the templates. So for instance, they have an all types filter, you can have a custom, or ones that they curate. In this case, I'm going to look at some of the curated templates from Asana. For the heck of it, I'm going to scroll down to a marketing one, and I'm going to select it. And you'll see it'll give you a preview of what that template looks like. It'll give you a preview of some of the built-in workflows that may work for you, and also a preview of the dashboard. And you can simply say, use the template, and it'll automatically load it for you, seed it with some information, and you can take it from there and customize it to your own needs. So as you can see, I'm going to click on more templates here. There are so many templates to choose from, and so many different workflows for whatever it is that you need to do for your organization. And if you decide to start from a blank project, if you click on blank project, it's going to walk you through a wizard where it's going to ask you for basic information. So I'm going to say test project is my name. I'm going to say that I want my default view to be a list, but it offers you a variety of views to look at your project work. So you have the option of a list, a board, a timeline, or a calendar. In this case, I'm going to say list. You can start adding tasks, or you can share this with your teammates or set up a workflow. For now, I'm just going to say, let me start adding some tasks. It's going to load a project board for you. I'm going to add some new sections. Section 1, section 2, section 3. Within each section, you can add some subtasks below. So I'm just going to do task 1, task 2, task 3. And this kind of just gives you an idea of how you can build a project from scratch. You can assign folks to it. You can select your due dates, and you can add other custom fields that you choose to that are unique for your particular project. So in this case, I'm going to add a custom field called status. And I'm going to say to do in progress. Done. Gives you an option to change the colors as you choose to. You do create field, and now I can select statuses for the different tasks, and you can create a number of custom fields that you need for your needs. So that was just a quick overview of how to like start a project really quick out of the box. Now I'm going to jump to the test project plan that I created for this demo to walk you through some other key features. So as you can see in this demo, I created a bunch of sections for a marketing campaign, and I created a bunch of subtasks underneath. I assigned folks to it. So an easy way that you can assign people to your project is under teams. You can add teammates. Within your organization, as more folks join Asana, you'll see their names listed, and you can add them from there as well. So for instance, I work for Automatic. There's a bunch of teams that are using Asana already, so I can actually see who those folks are, and if I wanted to assign them tasks, or I can create my own team like I did for this demo called Shantae's First Team, and within there I can add team members manually. I can resend invites, or I can type their email address and it'll trigger an invite for them to join the project. For each task, I mentioned you have a due date. So the cool thing about Asana is that it can give you a range. You can pick a start date from the 15th to the 31st, or you can select a particular due date. Again, I added a custom field called status, and I'm just going to edit that so you can see. And I put different statuses for the team to select when they're updating the project. I also created a custom field called teams. A lot of times we work with a lot of different teams. So you may want to identify which team a particular task belongs to, in addition to who's assigned to. You can also create, when you go to add field, it gives you the option if you want to do a multi-select, a date, a person, a text field, a number, currency, or if you go to choose library, Asana also offers a bunch of other field types that you can add to your project. So a lot of times, some that we use are priority column, high, medium, low. Others are, sometimes I'll add an additional column called notes as a text field, where I just may want to jot down a quick note that a person can look at visually when looking at the view this way. The other great thing about Asana is when you look at a task, you can actually drill into that task a bit more. So for instance, I'm going to look at document success metrics and expand on that. And you can see here that if I wanted to, I can add a description about this task to provide additional information. I can add subtasks underneath that task that will appear on the project view. So subtask 1, subtask 2, to another one. You can also write comments if you'd like and communicate with your teammates. And this is really great because you can keep all the communication about a specific task within Asana and within this view right here. You can also attach files to it if you'd like. You can get a direct link to it, which is copied. When you click this, it's copied to your clipboard. So if you want to send a link to someone in email or in Slack or whatever, our team, you can say, hey, take a look at this, and they'll go directly to this card view. And you can expand it to open it wider just to see a little bit more of the card details. The other thing you can do is mark it as complete, and that'll be reflected in the audit trail and also on the project plan. So when we take a look, you'll see that my subtask appeared. You'll see that it's been marked as complete, and any other additional information I would have provided would appear here. Another great thing about Asana, or feature that I wanted to highlight, is how you can also filter your views. So if I only want to see things that are just my task, I can filter the view and only see things that are assigned to me. I can see things that are due by due dates, So this filter was due next week. It'll just show me that particular line item. Let's see, let's clear it. The other thing you can do is if you have a really robust plan with a lot of tasks, you can also search within, and it'll start filtering your task so you can find exactly what you're looking for. I think one thing that's also awesome about Asana is that it's a product that they're constantly iterating on. So it offers a lot of features that some other tools on the market does as far as your views. So for instance, right now we're looking at the list view of a project, but you can also look at your project as a board as well. So I created this test board. Well, the board is created automatically, but I added some oomph to it. So you can see your project, if you would like, in this board view where you can drop and drag things over. You can add imagery if you want to jazz it up a little bit more to make it look a bit more interactive. You can add a new task from here. And you can do pretty much all the features that I just showed you on the other view from this view as well. They also offer you a timeline view. So if you want to see more of the dependencies. So I created a couple dependencies in this project plan, but this will give you a visual timeline where you can see those dependencies and really see things stretched across a Gantt chart. And again, when you're doing some more sophisticated projects where there's a lot of tasks and a lot of teams, these views are awesome. And then you also have a standard calendar view, which will just show you all the tasks plotted against a monthly calendar that you can paginate through.
Shante, 5 minutes.
Awesome. Some other things that I wanted to touch on really quick was, let me go back to the list view, is that you also have this overview tab, which is really good when you're kicking off a project or someone that's coming brand new into the project, they know nothing about it. They can get all the information they need to know upfront about the project. So I put an intro message and you see all the folks who are on the project. I connected some goals that I added. I also added the marketing campaign brief document and uploaded it and added some milestones as well. Asana also offers a dashboard of reporting. So this reporting is automated. So as your team updates their task and things move around, this reports will update itself and anyone can go to the dashboard and really get a sense of how the project is pacing. You also have the ability to add additional charts to that may meet your needs and do other customizations for it. So that's really good if you're working on multiple projects or a portfolio of projects and you want to create these awesome dashboards that you can share out. The other thing I wanted to show really quick is that Asana also offers the ability to do automation. So if you go to customize rules outside of the box, they offer, I think, about 70 different rules that you can use. So for instance, you may want to set up a rule that says, anytime that a task is marked complete, send a post to a channel letting folks know. You can set that up. If I was connected to Team, you can set that up automatically. And anytime a task is marked as done, it'll blast out this particular task was done. Those are out of the box rules, but you can also create your own custom rules based on your workflow. Asana also offers the ability to create forms. You may want to create a form to help dictate your workflow process internally, like someone that wants to kick off a new project request. You can create a form for that and people can fill that out. It'll automatically populate that information in Asana. Let me see what some of my other notes that I wanted to touch on: reporting, dashboards, templates, automation. Let's jump into pricing. So regarding pricing, the cool thing about Asana is that for free, they offer a basic plan that costs nothing and it lasts forever. So if you want to tinker with Asana on your own, sign up for the basic plan and you can create projects and start working with your teammates. They also have a premium option, and that's $10.99 a month per user. And that's for teams that need to create larger plans across a broader group of people or a larger team. Sometimes you may have external folks that you work with that you want to have visibility into the project. And then they also have the business option, which is $24.99 a month per users. And that's for companies that are doing more portfolio management, right? You may have these large departments and you want to see a huge holistic view of everything that's going on within your organization. And one feature that I forgot to show that I just want to jump back to, sorry, Zoom is covering up, is you also have the ability to share your project to other folks. So enabling it, making it public allows other people to just, you share the link and then they can see a read-only view of your project. They can also see the different views. But the only limitation that I see that Asana has right now is that those custom fields that I created doesn't show up in this view. So I'm hoping that's in their product pipeline to add that ability to surface that information. But otherwise, anything that's a field that's default, that'll appear on the screen. And that is a quick 15-minute overview of Asana. There's so much more to go into, but I'll leave it there.
That was amazing, Shantae. Amazing overview. I'm going to remove the spotlight, but keep you on, Vivian, if you want to go ahead and pull up your screen and get that started. While Vivian is pulling up her section, there is a question for you to Shantae, if you know it. Is there a limit of team members and or projects allowed on the basic version?
I believe there is. I'm not for sure, but I definitely believe there's a limit on the team members because again, they're there to make money and they want to have some way of bumping you into that paid tier.
Thank you. And I will also mention, if I remember correctly, and I'll look into this a little bit more, Asana does have nonprofit discounts. I'm going to check to see what that discount is. It's either they just offer it to nonprofits, you just have to sign up, or it might be through TechSoup. But I will look into that for you.
And they also offer a 30-day trial for the 2 paid features. And I do know that if you reach out to them after the 30 days saying, hey, I need more time to evaluate, they will extend you. So just keep that in mind as well.
Perfect. Vivian, it looks like you might have some, oh, thank you, Craig, for dropping that in. Yep, so you can go into that. It'll give you some more information around the nonprofit rates for Asana. Thank you, Craig. Sylvia said website says free for teams up to 15 people. Look at this teamwork. I love it. Vivian, are you ready? I know it seems you're having some connection issues. Do you want to go ahead or do you want to pass it off to Pete first? You ready? Okay.
Let's go with Pete first because my internet is coming in and out.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm on my phone and on my laptop. So.
Okay. Pete, are you ready to go? Sorry, we're mixing up the lineup. Perfect. I'm going to spotlight you. You are on mute.
There. Now
There
you can hear me.
Perfect.
All right. So let me start off. This is Trello, which Trello is based on Kanban. So it is a board. There are estimated to be over 2 million teams worldwide using Trello today. What I'm going to show today is actually a template that I copied that's available for everyone. And I brought this down into my own space here. And what I have done is started off, I have a couple of people that are on the team here. And I'll start off by covering a couple of the features. One is workspaces. So workspace is sort of analogous to different views or just different ways of looking at the different Trello boards. So I have my own workspace here, which is Edwin. I'm a guest in 2 other workspaces. So Craig Oliver's workspace. So I can go to that and show that particular workspace. And then there's also, I'm also a guest in this other one. So there's different workspaces that you can get into. There's multiple boards that you can have within each one of those. For the this is the basic plan, and they list similar to the other products templates. And like I said, what I did was I had actually copied one over. For the demo, I'm going to use a social marketing one. And first off, as you can see, there's a navigation board over here. So you can kind of use that. What I want to do is actually kind of focus on the center, which is, as I said, the Kanban board. So we have 3 lists here. So we have what activities are to do, doing, and done. And underneath those are individual cards. So if I scroll down a little bit, you can see a whole list of cards here. And a card is actually, it's a task. So this is the work that you're going to do. So if I open this up, you can go in and you can actually see what the card is. It's a little slow here. But this is to, the example here is to actually create a social media marketing. So this is a particular goal, a particular task. And what we would do is we would move that from the to do over into the doing. And then we would do this as we do each task here. I mentioned the different team members that we have here. And if you look on each card, you can actually assign team members to this. And again, I have myself and I have Yenting assigned to this particular card. So it should briefly outline content plan. And I should move this over to the doing column. If you look at the very top of this, I have cards here. This is what they call a cover card. Which is really just, it provides instructions there. You can also put in a graphic, just adds more visual impact to the particular card. You can also, within cards, here's a card. And if I look here, there's a little paper clip here. There's been an attachment. So a document has been added to that. So again, if I go in and I open this up, I can actually come down and see, okay, here's a Word document that was added to that particular card. So that's how we can keep track of things. When a member is assigned to this, they actually get notifications, and the notifications you get, I've got a list of them here, are comments. So whenever a comment or whenever there's an update to one of those cards, you'll get an email notification of it. When cards are added or changed to a list, you can get notifications of that. When a card moves, so when I move this one from the to-do column over to the doing, and then we'll move it again, we'll move it over here. This is done. So that card is done now. So the people that would be on that would receive a notification that card had actually moved. And then also when attachments are uploaded, you get a notification of that. One of the other features that I wanted to show is on this particular card. If you come down and look at it, there's a little designation here, 07. There's actually a checklist. So if I open this card, and one of the features is to create a checklist. So for the task here, there's a whole bunch of things. So this was assigned to Craig, and he can go in and he can say, okay, I've done the images, I've done the video, I've done the blog post. And as you see, as I check off each one of these, the percentage bar of the advances up here. So that's some notification. So if I believe I have to save this. Nope, that's updated. Okay. So if I close this, I then go down and look and see there's an indication. So real quick visual view, I can see that there have been 3 of the 7 tasks have been fixed. I've got to move this. One of the other things that I wanted to show, it's very easy to share the board, to add team members, and you can just go in with an email. So I can add. So if I have other people outside of my group, I can add them very easily. And now I have another person added here. So if someone, if someone wants to watch or monitor, or if you have, someone in, I'll say in your management chain or whatever, or even an outside vendor or someone, you can have them notified of what's going on. Boards can be both public and private. So that's some of the controls that you can place on it. One of the things, there's some additional tools over here. So one of the purposes of a Kanban board is, again, for visual impact and to really provide people with a way of viewing the board. So one of the things you can do is actually you can add labels. Oops, I think I have to actually be inside one of the cards to do this. So if I go, I'll move this over here. We'll open this up, and I'll open the card, and right here's labels. So they have predefined some things here. So we could go in here and put a label on here. And again, what that's going to do is put more visual impact, and you can actually see that. You can see this indication right here on the card. And you can define those labels however you want to. A couple of the other things I wanted to cover. As I said, this was a template that I picked up. It's available. You can download and use for yourself from Trello. The vendor is actually Planaway. There's no charge for using the template. But some of the other things are what Trello calls, what I'll call integrations, or work with other particular products, are power-ups. So this particular one, again, the vendors is Planaway, and they have timeline, calendar, and time tracking. So those are all power-ups that have been added. The calendar lets you actually assign dates, due dates as to when the card has been worked on. You can set a due date, and you can also measure and determine if something is overdue, past due, whatever. And you can run reports on that. There are many power-ups, and if I can pull these up. Some of these are charged, some of them are not charged, but there are things like integrations with Slack, there's integrations, email, Gmail, things like that. Again, like I say, some are charged, some are not charged. Also, with a board, you can do automation. So similar to what Shantae had shown, there's rules that you can set. You can define a button. As I move these cards across, when it goes to done, next step after that is, okay, once it's done, I might want to archive it. I can define a button to archive a particular automation or a particular card.
4 minutes, Pete.
Okay, and with that, let me see. I did want to show kind of the plan. Oops. Not finding my card with my link. Give me 1 second here. Oops, looking in the wrong list. Okay. So similar to Asana, they have a different set of tiered offerings. So the basic one is free. You can go in. That's essentially what I'm using here and what I have done. The limits on that are that you can have up to 10 boards, so 10 personal boards. And as you move down through here, you can list or see what some of the things are and not provided with the different free plans or the paid plans. Let's see. Covered that. One last thing I wanted to do was trying to get back to my board. I'm momentarily lost here. Let me go to my share. Well, I'll just talk to that. So the last thing that I will mention is if you actually go to Trello, they have a Trello guide, and that actually provides you with a step-by-step for setting up and defining your own board. And it's a very good tutorial. So if you decided that you wanted to undertake building your own board, or going out and taking one of these templates and modifying it, that would take you through that step by step. With that, Yenting, that covers everything. Are there any questions or?
Great, thank you, Pete. Great overview. Love the visualization that Trello offers. The only thing I would add is we did look at there is a nonprofit type pricing. It looks like it's 75% off for nonprofits. So if you do need to get into those higher level plans, just make sure you check out their nonprofit pricing. They do offer it. Vivian, I'm going to remove the spotlight. Vivian, are you ready for your Basecamp?
Yes, I having technical difficulties, as you can see, I'm in and out.
We're glad to have you back.
Mm.
While Vivian is
Bear
pulling
with
that up,
me.
there we go.
Great.
All right, I'm going to spotlight you and then go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vivian Sproul, and I'm delighted to do a presentation on
Vivian, please remember.
Basecamp.
There you go.
Okay, my experience with Basecamp has been awesome. It's very straightforward. It's very simple to use, and it's very user-friendly. And these are the different features, starting out with the message board. So you have a message board where you can document or send people messages back and forth, and it shows you what the message looks like. And here's a that has used a message board to send a thank you letter, a thank you card. And then there's the to do. This is the list. As you know, when you're working on projects, it's always good to assign a to-do list and have deadlines and timeframes. So I'm going to go into the to-do list, to give you a demonstration of what that's like. So Melissa's task has been assigned. Her date has been assigned. The 5 customer questions are also a date and date. And these are all the items that she has to do. And then there's another really good feature also. You can download any files, any documents or files into this particular area. Here's an example of someone who downloaded a schedule. Other feature is Campfire. If anyone been camping before, it's very fun and you're sitting around the campfire and just sending messages, you're just having simple conversations back and forth. So this is a campfire where you can just type whatever you want to type to or whoever you want to type to your teammate and just communicate. Just very relaxed, very laid back type of feature. The other feature is schedule. And so it's basically self-explanatory. You can put your schedule in. This is more or less a project management tool that you can use for events. You can use it for a wedding, you can use it for a birthday party, and you can use it for a retirement party. This is an excellent tool to use for that. So over the top, this is a home page that I'm on right now. And then the lineup, it has your schedule, basically, what the lineup is. And then ping is when you can ping a person. It's like a private chat, one-on-one chat between one person to another person. So you're not seeing, everyone's not seeing your conversation. The hey is just as a new feature is up next, and Buckle change due dates. And what they're doing, they're shipping to 2 features we think you'll love. So this is like, it notifies you if the project is overdue, if you missed your overdue date. And I set up a project in Campbase, and it shows here where I got a notification that my project was overdue. And next feature is activities. These are all the activities that you completed on Basecamp. So it just gives you like a history of everything. And then my stuff is my actual assignments that were assigned to me for the project. It will have a list of all the projects that are assigned to me. Also projects that or information I bookmarked. My schedule will be here. Any drafts of any documents, my most recent activities, and my boosters. And here, right here is where my project, I named my project Village Heartbeat Season 10. And it's an example of me setting up a project. And I put this message in here, week 1. And I type this in, and week 1 on March 28, importance of sleeping and the impact of overall health. So my to-do was to schedule a meeting. So that's what I did. I scheduled a meeting, and that's what's in here, where I scheduled the meeting. And I scheduled a meeting for Tuesday from 6 to 7. So that was my assignment that I assigned to myself. Put my agenda in and also attach my agenda to the meeting. Right here, and see where it has this is documents and files. This is where you place your documents and you store them here. So this is a really neat feature because you don't have to worry about sending something, emailing someone. All your documents, presentations are all stocked in one folder. And that's a wonderful feature, I feel. Okay, I didn't put anything in the campfire and I didn't put anything on the schedule. And see where it says right here, to do says done. It gives you like a little message saying that my task was completed. You can invite people to be a part of the project. Right here, you just click here and you can add the participants for the project here. So it's very simple to use. And when you first set up your Basecamp, your password has to be at least 12 characters. That kind of threw me for a little bit because I'm not used to using that many characters to set up a password. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that as well. I believe I covered everything regarding Basecamp.
I think one thing, Vivian, that you shared is that you can actually download the app on your phone. And get all
Yes.
your messages that way too. So I thought
Yes.
that's a neat feature.
Yes, that's a great feature too. So you don't have to be to your internet or anything. You could actually do everything on your phone.
I'm going to drop the pricing in the chat. And then Vivian, if it's okay, I'll share my screen as well. So this is the pricing for Basecamp. There is a free trial for 30 days. That's the one that we're using right now. But in the event that you do want to continue to use it, it is pretty pricey at $99 per month. You'll get all the features that Vivian said, including 2 terabytes of storage. You won't be able to add clients to it. If you do need that, you would have to go into the following plans, the business and or unlimited plans. They do have a nonprofit pricing. I believe it doesn't state it right here, but I believe it's around 10% off. But that's it for pricing. Gonna stop sharing my screen. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Vivian, about Basecamp?
I think I covered everything.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Pete shared Trello also does a mobile app. Very cool. Any questions from anybody? So this can be about any of the tools that our speakers have shared, or it can be any tools that you're kind of looking into and want some advice on. So one came in, how are files and documents managed from all these apps that are on the Teams app? Sorry, that are on the team apps and also on the organizational server to keep original files and tracking final versions. Is there a way to manage final versions? So I think this is open to anybody who might know using these tools.
So I know with Asana, it integrates with Google Drive and Microsoft. I haven't used Microsoft products in a while. I think it's what, SharePoint or
Yeah.
Drive, OneDrive. So it has integration with those servers in order to be able to easily upload and point to different documents. So you're not really worried about version control within Asana. That's all handled wherever the original doc is at.
Yeah, and I'll add that with Trello, it's pretty much the same thing. You would be looking for another application to provide your document management, and that's where you would essentially keep your final copy and your different version controls.
That's the same for Basecamp. You're just uploading your Microsoft Word docs, your Google Docs, just uploading all those docs from those particular tools.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of these tools have those integrations. I know Vivian, you and I talked about the integration of Calendar too. I'm not sure with Pete and Shantae, but I would assume there's a lot of similarities with these tools. So if integrations is something that is important to you, definitely add that to your must-haves so that as you're looking through all these different tools, you can remember to check those out. Great question.
And I have to say, as a person who has used a lot of different project management tools throughout my career, that all of these tools are awesome and great. And they will give you, I feel, 80 to 90% of what it is that you're looking to do. It's just that 10% that really of what your organizational needs are is what is going to be the deciding factor as far as like which tool is best for you. But I do think it is totally worth the investment and upgrading into some of those paid tiers to really get all of the robust features that these platforms offer. And if your organization invests, it will literally, I feel, change your life as far as your efficiencies and the way you can communicate with your team and the way you get work done.
Yeah, I will echo what Shantae is saying as well. You've seen the demonstration of all three of them. There's similarities across all three of them. There's pros and cons with every one of these. Depending on your organization, there may be a key feature that you need or will make your life much easier. And in that case, you know, that you should channel towards that. And I guess, Yenting, what I would go back to what you were pointing out, the application, I'm trying to think what the name of the service that Aparo offers, application evaluation. Is really to maybe take a look at, you know, what are your wants and needs, and again, then balance that against different vendor products.
That's a great point. I'm going to share my screen again really quick. We do have some time. I'm going to send this out into the follow-up email. This is just in a template that you can use. So you can put in, let's say, for example, Asana, and then vendor 1, vendor 2, Basecamp, vendor 3, Trello. And here you can list out those required features, those nice to have, if they have training, and all of this will be great things to note as you are exploring and researching these tools. And you can go ahead and check those off and it'll create a score for you. But that will be shared with you. This is an example of what you might go through with Aparo in the Community Impact Project. You'll have a volunteer team, though, that will walk you through everything instead of doing this by yourself, because I've done it before. It can be overwhelming. There's a lot of tools out there. But this template will be shared with you in that follow-up email. Let's see if there's any other questions. All right, any other questions? We got some great speakers here. You gotta take advantage of them. Come on. I know there was a question that Pete answered last week around Smart Sheets. What are other people using? Maybe Shantae, Pete, and Vivian have used it and can kind of offer some advice around that.
I think I've used almost every major tool. Because there's always that internal debate, right?
Yes.
Of this team wants to use that tool, the software engineering team wants to use this other tool. So I personally try not to get into debates. I say use whatever tool you want. I will work with it because they all do the same thing. But I love Smart Sheets. I've used Team Gantt. I like Monday. I love Asana. I've used AHA. I love Atlassian products. I'm a huge fan of Trello, Jira. I have been using GitHub in my current role. So GitHub is definitely on the heels of Atlassian tools. So maybe 2 years ago, no one could tell me anything other than Jira was the best thing on earth. But now I'm using GitHub and I'm like, okay, they stepped it up. I love Basecamp, huge fan of Basecamp as well. I think for communicating, if you're heavy into comms and Docs. I think Basecamp document management is excellent. They're all great. They're all great tools. All great.
So Shantae, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. They are all great tools. The only thing though is, as someone that either leads teams or facilitates teams or whatever, you can work with all of them. However, there may be some advantages if your organization or if you have a lot of projects going on, a little bit of standardization, not
Yes.
let it be the Wild West and not let everybody pick something, but maybe standardize on, one or two tools.
Tools. Yes, so the portfolio management is going to be one of those use cases that will set you apart as far as like your decision making, if you need to have that full bird's eye view across teams. And Asana, again, is getting that buy-in, right, from all these different teams on a tool that can then give that portfolio view.
Oh my goodness, Shantae, did you see the question? The question came through. Any guidance on how to get a team to utilize these tools? Tools are only as good as people using them.
That's what I always say. The tools are only as good as the data that's in it and the people that are using it. I try to lead by example, so I don't force anyone to do anything. I take the hit up front, organize it all, share out the information, and just indoctrinate people into this is where you go for this, and just keep on pointing them there. And then people just self-help and they catch on. But I feel like when you try to force it, people rebel and you spend more time debating than getting the work done. So I don't ask anybody to do anything. I just do it all.
One of the things that I was advising was if project management tools are new to your organization, maybe start with one of those basic levels of the product and do a pilot. If you're just breaking in with a team, get a little buy-in, get a little bit of, hey, we tried this over here, it worked. Maybe we can expand this a little bit more, or this helped the team do better work. So that would be kind of what my advice would be as far as trying to get buy-in from the teams. But it can be difficult when everybody has their own direction that they want to go.
I feel like the simpler the better.
Simpler.
If it's easy to use, they're more apt to use it.
Yes.
Just try to use tools that are just simple that anyone can use it, catch on very quickly. And Basecamp is really simple.
And I'll put in another Oparo plug here. We have done team trainings around project management tools for the reason of trying to get more people to use it. So we have worked with organizations. The leadership came to us and just like, we have this amazing tool. We're just trying to get people to use it. So we kicked it off with a team training so that everyone knows it's available, knows how to use it, and it's more intentional way of getting some of that buy-in. So that might be an option. All right. I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1. We are done. Thank you so much to our 3 speakers for your time and sharing these amazing tools. Thank you, Pete, for just organizing this entire series. We really do appreciate that. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Our next webinar series is going to be around Canva and how to use it. So please join us for that if that's something that is interesting to you. Other than that, we'll see everyone later. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Goodbye.